Sorry.
No, that's not something you should apologize for. It was just, I'm sorry we missed you. It was fun playing croquet with you last time.
Yes, it
We had
was.
fun regardless.
Thank you. I'm
No,
glad.
no guilt. Guilt's none.
Guilt
And
is
as
not allowed.
and I'd finally watched Heather, so I finally understood all the references you were making last time.
Thank you. Where's I really hate to be stupid. Where is the link?
It's in chat right now.
Oh, it's in chat. It's that easy.
Mm-hmm. I think. Hopefully, we'll see.
All that easy.
I'm looking at a few seconds ago. Oops. Just muted myself. There I am. I'm back in the picture again.
Okay, that's cool. So are we just never? Okay, very cool.
We're just hanging out publicly.
Just publicly hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
That's
interesting. I've gotten booted to the front of the line. I guess it's because I'm the host that I end up in the anchor position. But y'all are still in the same rotation that I was seeing on screen, so that's also useful to know. That's the thing that gets me confused, is how the windows are never the same for. It's like radical relativity. It's the same thing with sight lines in a theater, but because it's Zoom, you just can't tell which direction.
I'm gonna send the link to my dad, and he's gonna click it immediately. He's gonna watch us hang out publicly.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this link as we are. There we are. Abby, are you putting that up on the Facebook page?
If you are there, go for it.
All right.
I did it on Instagram and the posts that I made on the
Perfectly.
How I can always count on you to like break any awkward silences that happen.
Yeah, it happens. It's more when I'm anxious. I'll just start talking.
Do you still have several instruments within arm's reach?
Oh, not quite within arm's reach. I can change that. If need
they just came awfully in handy earlier today, is all I'm saying. And
I should get my instrument and keep it within arm's reach.
Geez, do I? All I have are all I have are visual aids at this point. I don't know that I have any instruments with me. Well, other than percussion, of course. But
my dad is watching.
Welcome, Bird's dad. That's not product placement. I think I managed to keep the logo out. Oh! Wow.
Like now, I should have gotten this earlier when I was.
Yeah.
Wait, I do have an instrument. It's the fart button.
No.
Good.
Well, it's always good to have a fart button.
Do you?
I have a button.
What does it do?
I have a very large button, but it doesn't appear to do anything. So.
Well, that's beautiful, Cal.
That was very Holmesian, I'd say. There we are.
I'm confused.
Is the social media giving you difficulty there, Abby?
Yeah, I'm trying to make something on our Instagram story, but I'm trying to remember how to do that. But I think it'll be fine.
I don't know that I've ever spent more than 3 minutes on Instagram.
Link in our bio. Hee hee hee. Let's tell people to come watch our show. Come watch for some laughs.
Now I'm inviting my mom.
Laughs guaranteed. Hopefully. Actually, laughs not.
I think we'll have a few laughs.
I would hope so too.
And let's send out some positive energy with this performance. I just got word from Karen yesterday. One of our big fans, Bobby, who comes to see our shows, is his dog Bella. You all know Bella.
Yes.
Bella has throat cancer.
Oh no, Bella.
Yeah. So,
I've been thinking about, we've been reviewing and updating our Alpha Psi Constitution because it was a little out of date. And there's a section in there about inviting honorary Alpha Psi members
Wow.
And I thought it might be really special. I hope Bobby's not watching this. I doubt it. But I thought it would be really special maybe if we ask him to be an honorary member of Alpha Psi, because he comes to every performance of every show.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe at our
that's
first
a great idea.
In the spring,
Yeah.
hopefully if he comes in person, we can honor him in person, which would be really cool.
That would be really great. That would be really great. I have not been able to reach out to him yet, but I'm hoping to reach out to him to see how he's doing and see how Bella's doing.
When I'm coming to campus, because he lives right over by the cottages in the North Flats. So sometimes I'll drive by and he'll be sitting out there in front of his house.
Yeah, he always turns up, sits right in the front row. He's a faithful theater goer and one of our biggest fans.
Indeed.
And I think he would appreciate that. The sad thing is that it would be really great to give Bella an honorary membership, but I fear that time will pass.
I mean, it doesn't say anything about it has to be a person, and it also doesn't specify whether that being has to be alive or not.
Right.
So give her a posthumous? Do you?
Yeah,
use
posthumous. Yeah,
Yes.
posthumous membership, like Heath Ledger's posthumous Oscar. Yeah.
Could it be like a postdugmus?
Wait,
Posthumous.
Canemus? Like Canemus?
I don't know that the hume is referring to human
No.
in
sorry.
posthumous. I would say it probably has more to do with. I don't know.
Reed just texted me and said Bella should be an honorary member too. So, thank you.
See, there we go. It's just something we need to do.
This is probably the weirdest part about the performing on Zoom. Not quite knowing where the stage ends and the curtain begins.
Well, yes, it's.
You said Heath Ledger, and my brain processed Jared Leto, and I was like, when did Jared Leto die? And they have they're both white guys, but that's as far as I think I can.
I mean,
the
Joker.
Yeah, I mean, the logic is perfectly clear. It's by way of the Joker. Wait, Heath Ledger, you mean the Joker? The Joker's dead? No, the Joker can't be dead. That's Jared Leto. He's not dead yet, right?
He's not dead yet? He died? Yeah. Huh?
Nor is Jack Nicholson dead yet.
It's really sad whenever you watch movies like from the 80s and you're like, and you see the actors and they're like dead.
Yes.
Dead.
Yes,
and it makes me sad.
It is very sad, Bert.
I was watching, it was Spaceballs the other day, and I was like, all these people are dead now.
Mel Brooks is still with us, isn't he?
I don't
Brooks
know.
Hasn't passed yet.
Barf is dead, though.
It also doesn't have to be sad. I mean, because they, unlike so many of us, get an opportunity to live on in the media. And therefore we are resurrecting them every time we watch 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, Barf is not exactly John Candy's greatest role. But there's something special about seeing any of John Candy's roles, even the weaker ones, because it's John Candy. And I still miss him. I still miss John Candy's work. He's a funny guy. Barf, not very funny. But
I thought Barf was funny.
I'm biased when it comes to Star Wars parodies, though, because I'm such a huge fan of the original Star Wars parody, Hardware Wars, which I remember watching because my dad had a copy of the film, so we'd put it on the film projector and project it on a screen, and thread the whole machine, the whole 9 yards, and everything. We had a copy of it in a can. It was great. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye. Hardware Wars, and the whole thing was just shot with totally, handheld props from the kitchen, and the escape pods were toast popping out of a toaster. Darth Vader, whatever they called him, was wearing a giant welder's helmet. No, basketball is a peaceful world. We have no weapons, and they just exploded a basketball instead of a planet for Alderaan. But I mean, one of my favorite moments, and one of my favorite moments is actually Well, there's when whoever the Obi-Wan guy is, it's like, is it suddenly what's wrong? Is it suddenly like you felt like thousands of voices were crying out and then suddenly were silenced? No, it's just a headache. Is a good one, but it's particularly entertaining when in the getaway from the Death Star, Princess Leia is wearing these real croissant rolls on her head. And Chewbacca in this is a Cookie Monster Muppet that's just brown. He's the Wookiee monster. So you can see this thing on YouTube. There's this. I mean, so the Wookiee monster is like eating her hair for most of the dogfight scene, which is just hilarious. So it's hard for me to part with my fun.
I think that I interrupted you a little bit, and I'm sorry.
No, I was done.
Oh, I think that my very favorite, this is so stupid. It was like a 3 or 4 minute bit, and it was on Big Mouth. So it was animated, and it was a Star Wars, knockoff. And just the like girl sitting in the front that's supposed to be Chewbacca, instead of making the sound, she goes, "Chewbacca sound!" And and then every once in a while she'll like say something in human English and go like, "Oh, we need to go back." "Oh, I mean Chewbacca sound." And it's my favorite, and it's like 3 minutes long. And
that's perfect, because that's just, I love that. That's a variation on our own bear noises.
Chewbacca sound.
That we that's why we call the game Bear Noises. Was because we were playing a game of We See, and it was in the woods. And somebody came out and went, "Bear noises."
I have a hard time deciding between my 2 favorite Bear Noises locations we've created.
Mm-hmm.
One is the rooftop superhero bar we made before Superhero Epic.
That was a really good bar.
It was amazing, with the like landing strips for the superheroes flying in and such. Mm-hmm. And the one from the shows we did after Hill House, the like vampire morgue, like I think that was scenes in a room, not bear noises, but it was like there was some sort of morgue and there were vampires, and that was pretty funny. I also love that most of our locations often include a bead curtain. I think that's just a very fun detail that we like to add.
So
very Brady's, very 70s.
This was before I was actually in the troupe, but my favorite scenes in a room location I think we've ever done was a thrift shop, an antique store, where there was the
curtain there.
Yeah, there was the Phantom of the Opera chandelier, and of course the obligatory cherry Coke dispenser, and a big mouth Billy Bass.
Yes. I just found a bug in my water.
Something so wonderful about a big mouth Billy Bass. There's just something so wonderful about it.
And I think we've had one. I don't know if this was the same antique store, but I know we had one antique store where we had a bong made out of a skull.
Oh yeah,
I think that was the same one.
Same one? Okay, I couldn't remember.
It's all the same antique store. We probably created more than one, but it's all the same antique store.
Trying to think of other ones that we've done. Didn't we do a church one time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did a church. I remember that.
Yes.
Noise church. We did one when we were experimenting before Time Travel Epic, I think, where we did a map. It was paranoid. It was we made a map.
That's how we got Twin Roads, actually.
Yeah. Twin Roads / Twin Rivers / whatever we ended up.
No, it was Twin Roads because there was one river in between the Twin Roads.
Roads, yeah.
And then
that was where we got the burrito place, whatever it was called, the dirty
the spicy jalapeno, or the dirty jalapeno.
It was the dirty jalapeno. It was the dirty jalapeno. Yeah.
And Joel and Jill were the only way to really access the dirty jalapeno.
But there was a big scene at the end where kind of everybody sort of met up at the Dirty Jalapeno, as I recall. Or just people were passing through, all the people that.
The Time Institute.
Yeah, yeah, feeling like that Hopper painting.
As I recall, our original version of Twin Roads had a lot more horror in it. I think there was just a barber shop where the barber just slit everybody's throats.
Yeah,
We need Todd.
Yeah.
Living worms or a giant worm or something.
Oh, Oh, I think they were time worms.
Maybe
They're always time worms.
like a giant endless pit or cliff at like the edge of town, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kind of like
Well,
what is it? The ever burning tire fire in Springfield.
Yeah.
Doesn't Springfield have like a void nearby too, where it's where you just I can't remember, but yeah, I'm certain that there was an endless cliff in there somewhere, and of course the crack in the earth.
The crack in the center of the
The crack in the center of the earth. Which had a lot of voice and possibilities. So we're getting close to 6 o'clock. Hey, Jimmy, do we have some folks at your end of things? Are we on the big screen?
Sorry, I was helping set up some snacks and
No, hey man, that's I'm just no apologies necessary. We're just hanging out, trying to be entertaining.
Good deal. No, I was helping set up snacks. By helping set up, I mean mostly eat them.
That's fair.
So we got a good 8 people right now. We're gonna wait just another 2 minutes for some more people to show up.
That's totally cool. We can start.
I have the link being sent out right now to all the halls.
Cool. Could you maybe poll those people who are already there for some possible suggestions? We're particularly interested in some words, phrases, or ideas that people wouldn't mind people talking about for a while.
All right, I have some words, phrases, ideas from some people. Effulgent.
What was that?
Did you guys hear that? Okay, let's say it again a little bit louder.
Effulgent?
Effulgent. Effulgence. I like it.
You could maybe like a
said pineapple.
Pineapple.
What else we got, guys? Dog.
God. Ooh, I like it.
Take it. Oh, dog and God.
God and God.
Dog.
God and dog. Okay, got it. God and dog. Let's get some of these suggestions on here. Could I have some suggestions of some genres, some film styles, play styles, performance styles, and so forth?
Horror. American Gothic. Noir.
Noir, film noir. You bet. What else? Romance.
I mean, like, there's apparently a YouTube audience.
Plumbing explosion. We have a suggestion.
Yes.
Action.
noir and horror also, but I know we got those.
Yeah, noir and horror. They seem to be a popular trend.
Indeed. Noir is one that we love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love noir. I love
Always fun.
doing noir.
Dad requests specifically Nordic noir, like Scandinavian noir. We watch a lot of those together, so it makes sense. Hey, Dad.
I'm just trying to think. Ibsen noir.
I think
I feel like all of life is a lie, and that I don't know. Our paths are just like barnacles hanging on to the shell of our boat as we travel through life. That's what she said when the troll dragged her down to the bottom of the waves. Yeah, no, I like it. This could work really nicely. Yeah, avant-garde French cinema. Oh yes, avant-garde.
It's been a while since we've done
God.
avant-garde French cinema.
Thanks, Reed.
Greek mythology. Oh, there's a fun one too. Yeah, these are good.
Loving it.
Viewers at home, you can turn on the closed captions and you'll be able to see some of these suggestions as they come in. They're one of my ways to just update everybody to what the hell is going on in any given moment. We're just taking a few suggestions before we get started. We're going to do a show about an hour long. We're going to improvise some for you tonight. And while the structures that you're seeing are forms and games that we've rehearsed, they're they're stuff that that are used to create scenes that have never been seen before. And you're going to see a lot of that today because we're doing some stuff we've never done before. And of course, we're improvising. So what's going to happen is happening now for the very first time anywhere. Oh, Disney. Yes, there we go. There's another good genre in there. Ooh, you know what? I think I need another suggestion of specific locations where you would like to see scenes set. Particular places. And I don't know if
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Ooh, that's fun.
That is fun.
Really gonna abuse that power, Stahl.
Stonehenge.
How was my roommate last year? Upper left.
Upper left.
Yes, you did speak about that.
Ooh, a volcano, huh?
Apparently, among like the 5 people in the audience, one of them is my ex-roommate. So I could tell from the moment he said effulgent.
Do some of these have double meanings to
You
you?
are absolutely
No,
correct.
maybe
Oh,
not really. Effulgent in particular is a reference to a piece of media we both like.
what's the media?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sinking
So-
ship. Big Ben, eh? That's fun.
Yeah.
Trampoline.
Oh no. I love it.
Well, I'm just trying to. Yeah.
Asgard.
Asgard. I like the mythic bent of the house there. You guys are thinking big. I'm liking it very much. I'm feeling just from the ideas we're getting back for you that we are larger than life, and that's where we'd very much like to be. Let's see. Hey, players, any last suggestions you want to take from the audience in terms of stuff that you might really want to run with? We got a bunch here, obviously.
Never mind.
Winery. Ooh, that's fun. Winery's a fun location. Center of the earth.
The ones from YouTube
Oh, excellent.
that are being requested in the chat.
We're drawing intelligence from so many different spaces. I'm just getting overwhelmed at thinking of the literalness of it all. We're gonna be performing for you for a little while we're still sort of waiting for some critical mass at the live end of things. We're being streamed and projected at the Pouch Club on campus is where we're being projected to a socially distanced audience in the WCC on the campus of Austin College, and we're also being joined by by people watching us streaming on YouTube. So you can find us if you look for TACIT, TACIT. You will be able to find us that way. Of course, if you're watching this, you've already found us. So why am I announcing it as though that's very strange? A couple of things too to bring up while we're chattering a bit here. We are planning on having some improv workshops before the semester is done. We are planning on starting by having one next Sunday. Isn't that right? Isn't that the plan? Yeah, we're planning on doing one on let me get the dates up here. Yes, October 18th, a week from tomorrow, will be our first workshop. We'll plan on doing that at 3:00 in the afternoon, and we'll post links so that you can join us in a Zoom room via our Facebook site. So you can find some more.
Post them on Instagram and on the AC app.
Right.
So if you're not following us on the AC app, we are the Austin College Improv Troupe in the student organizations.
The Austin College Improv Troupe in student organizations. You can follow us on that nifty little Roo app, and I think get push notifications that way too. So you can find some more information and links to the meeting sites for those. We'll be doing workshops, no experience required, on Sunday the 18th, Sunday the 25th, and Sunday the 1st. So we'll be doing some improv workshops for the next 3 Sundays. Not this Sunday because it's still break, but starting a week from Sunday, we're going to be doing 3 improv workshops So come and join us. If you're interested, by the way, in joining the troop, becoming a member of the troop, that's the way that you do it, is come and jam with us in a couple of workshops, and that's the means by which we recruit and invite new members. Abby, go right ahead.
Just a heads up, the Baker stream in the WCC said we froze, and so they left, and I assume that they are coming back.
Okay, so
Probably should wait for them to come back before we start.
I think we shouldn't start before our audience is gone. Yeah, I think that would be wise. Let me have a look here.
Thank you, YouTube virtual audience, for your patience while we organize our technical challenges. We are improvisers, not technicians. Computer experts is a better word.
Yes.
If we had come up with a plan for the technology, but it's just so fundamentally against our nature that
No planning allowed in the Austin College Improv Troupe. We do everything on the fly.
And we've been performing remotely entirely since February. We had our last live performance in the same room together was in late February in Moody Hall, as I recall.
Yes.
When we opened for Rocky Horror. But one of the disadvantages, of course, working in the Zoom environment is you're only as good as the various component pieces in a very complex web. And when you're trying to do really complex things, it's all a matter of repair, trying to get all these pieces back up and running. So, but yeah, we are waiting for return of our feed to the actual live audience who is gathered and is snacking, hoping to see us improvise. We can always resort, if they can't get back in. Yeah. Oh yeah. We can always resort to feeding the stream to Baker too. So if we lose the Zoom connection,
email them the link to the YouTube stream.
Yep.
And then they can also throw stuff up in chat if they want, if they're having trouble with Zoom.
Yep. Did you have that right?
I do have it, yes.
Oh, yeah, good. Because it's yes. Go ahead and put that in because I am.
It's in the chat.
There we go. Perfect.
So simply to fill the set.
WCC.
There we go.
Jimmy, are you back?
We're back. We were having some slight technical difficulties. Things were frozen, so we left and now we rejoined.
Okay. If we end up having a crash in the future, you could always pop straight to the live stream.
Oh, that's so much better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
So if we freeze again, no, what you did was great because this is the way I'd prefer to run. We got a direct feed to you this way. But if it crashes again, go straight to the stream, and actually in the time that it would take to get there, you'd probably be caught up to the real time at that point because you're watching the show live remotely, the remote show live in real time in a way that the YouTube audience is not, because time is
meaningless.
Well, actually, we're going to be hearing in a few minutes from our sponsor, Time Loops. We owe a great deal to this to Time Loops. We will still owe a great deal to them at some point in the future. That's the nature of contractual obligations with a company that spans all dimensions of time and space. But as part of those obligations, we'll be bringing a message from that sponsor later on. But now that we're up, Jimmy, do we want to go ahead and start the show?
Time Loops. We owe a great deal to this to time.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're good to get started.
Okay, we got a bunch of suggestions to work from. I'm going to see what we can come up with. But before we move on any further, we are the Austin College Improv Troupe. My name is Kirk, and I'm the coach of these wonderful people. And this is the Austin College Improv Troupe, TACIT, and they are...
Callier.
Bird.
Abby.
And once again, I am Kirk. I am going to go ahead and arrange for WCC to drop out, so it's just us in here. And what we're going to start up is we haven't played this in a remote setting at all. This is a game that we used to start all of our live shows with, My Bonnie. And how My Bonnie works is we're going to sing a song, and you can sing along from wherever you are. Yeah, you can sing along from wherever you are. Whenever you get to, and you can choose one of two ways to do it. Anytime we get to a B in the song, my Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea. You can either stand up or put your hands up, or sit down or put your hands down. Yeah, just like that. So it would be, just to demonstrate once again, my Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. You get the idea. So we're gonna do that, and please play along with us at home as we try to kick off with this most sacred and very silly, but still sacred ritual of my Bonnie. Cal, could you lead us off, please?
My Bonnie lies over the ocean.
My Bonnie lies over the sea.
My Bonnie lies over the ocean.
Bring back my Bonnie to me.
Bring back.
Bring back.
Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me, to me.
Bring back.
Bring back.
Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me.
Hey, that's my Bonnie. We've been playing that ever since we formed as the Austin College Improv Troupe. That goes back to when we formed as a troupe many, many years ago. We're going to get started with a game called Monologues. What's going to happen is we're just going to talk to you for a little while, and generate some more information based on some of the suggestions that you folks gave us at the top of the show. This is just a way to generate some information that becomes part of what we improvise with. It's also a way that we get our heads working, and we like to do it as part of the show because as you think along with us, we start thinking about some of the very same things. We start thinking down the same pathways, and we start to see some of the same discoveries. The suggestion I'm going to start us off with the suggestion of, let's go with Disney.
So I recently got a Disney Plus subscription, and I feel like I'm wasting my money on it because the only thing that I've watched so far was Hamilton, and then I've been rewatching old episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. But I'm too lazy to cancel it because then I'm like, well, what if I suddenly decide to watch something? So now I'm like stuck in a limbo where I've like partway sold my soul to Disney, but like I'm also kind of like holding it back and like trying to see if I can maybe cancel it eventually.
So I'm halfway in between ironically and unironically watching the old Yu-Gi-Oh anime just because it's so ridiculous, because every 10 seconds they'll recap the previous 10 seconds. They spend an episode recapping 3 seasons. And so it's just such a thing to watch because you don't have to pay any attention at all. And as many of you as students will understand, I don't have any attention to pay, period. Ever, never. And so it's one of those things that you can just put on the background, and I'm not sure if I'm like, am I down to watch this like because it's funny, or am I just...
And I've spent the last 48 hours binge watching the new season of The Haunting of Hill House. It's called The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's really good. I finished it this morning. And one of my friends was asking me, well, why do you just binge the whole season so fast? Don't you want to savor it and watch it and enjoy it? But the thing about this show is that it's really spooky and creepy, and there's a lot of hidden ghosts that they put in the show, like all in the camera work and stuff like that. So I really like to watch it, get my being scared over with about having never seen it before, and then I can go back and watch it again. I know what's going to happen, so I can for the hidden.
Rewatching things. I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th rerun of the gambling anime. I've never heard 2 people pronounce it the same, but here I go. Kakegure. And I love it so much. I cut my hair like the main character, and everyone I've asked has said it's horrible, but I think it's banger. So these are my weird side bangs, and I love them very much, and I will have them forever.
I have never really watched anime, but I remember I had some friends in middle school who really, really enjoyed it. And one of my friends was one of my friends who I went to camp with. And I remember that she had a lot of K-pop music on her iPod. Now, I know they're not the same thing, but she did like anime and she liked K-pop. So, the 2 things together. And so when we'd be sitting during our rest hour at camp, I'd go and sit on her bed and be like, hey, what are you listening to? And she would just say, no, you don't want to hear it. tell me what you're listening to. I love hearing new music. And she'd just stick her earbud in my ear, and it would be some song that was some K-pop song, and I had no idea what it was. And I said, all right, it's got a good beat. And I would sit on her bed, and we'd jam along together, and she'd know what was happening, and I would have no.
I went to a Quaker camp when I was younger, and we had this period of time that was like rest time called Feed on Bunk. And this usually came after like doing a service project or something really like physically taxing, so it was usually really fun. And one of these during one of these periods of times, a bunch of the people in my cabin thought it would be a fun idea to like sneak out while all the counselors were in a meeting, and it didn't go well. They all got caught, and I watched them get chewed out by a bunch of counselors. And now that I'm older, I feel the counselors' pain.
So my aunt is actually married to a Quaker minister. And the reason that she's married to a Quaker minister, well, rather how they met, was that this Quaker minister officiated my uncle, her brother's wedding. And so he ended up at this initial wedding, not the secondary wedding, getting seated with like myself and all my family. And you may not be able to tell, but I'll have you take it on faith that I talk a lot, and that is a lot of what my family is. And so my family was so concerned that he was just going to be squished out of any conversational avenues at the wedding. But apparently not, because he got to know my aunt pretty well and ended up getting married to them. And it is definitely interesting to meet. And I think
of high school, I had a theater student teacher who was really awesome, and then she was getting married in the fall. So fall of my freshman year of college, I got invited to her wedding. And it was a beautiful wedding, an amazing ceremony. It was at her grandmother's property, so it was old family property. Everyone looked beautiful. The wedding was beautiful. And then it came to the reception. I knew nobody at this wedding save for the bride, which if you only know the bride at a wedding, you're not going to get much time with her because she has to spend time with everybody else at the wedding. And so I thankfully brought one of my friends from school. And so we sat in the dark under a tree by ourselves for most of the reception of the wedding, just dancing silently to the music. And it was a lot of fun. We had fun together, and I loved watching everyone else have fun.
You know, weddings bring to mind those important moments in life, you know, that are the way that you mark the passage of time.
Here we go.
And so are we live?
My body flies over the ocean. My body flies over the ocean.
Traveling back in time to my
my body.
Oh no,
That's just how
I'm
time
so
loops
lost. Let me make sure, am I am I muted on the Zoom so they won't hear?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. You're part of the show, Jimmy.
This means in 10 minutes,
Yeah,
somebody
mute
is going to experience us experiencing 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes from now.
It's the perfect time for an ad for
time.
time loops. I was just going to say, you know, it's how we mark the passage of time. It just seems, you know, as though it's an appropriate moment to mark the passage of time, or rather its complete dissolution. Because you know what? There's no food that kills time deader than time loops. Nothing kills time like time loops. Right?
Time loops. Balanced breakfast.
Time loops. Will you be hungry yesterday? Time loops.
Time loops. Will you be hungry yesterday? Time loops.
Time loops. Will you be hungry tomorrow? Time loops.
Time loops. It kills time, and then it necromances it right on back because you never really did eat those time loops.
Boy, you know, a day full of Zoom lag just makes me hunger for something to eat in those moments when I'm frozen mid-stride and have no idea what I'm thinking or saying to other people. What a great time to snack on some time loops.
Time loops.
You know, I'm tired from experiencing lag in my real life, where I am set 10 minutes behind myself, watching the events of my life go by before me. In those moments, I hunger for time loops.
Time loops.
Time loops.
Time loops.
Loops.
Time loops.
10 minutes from now, you'll understand.
It will all be clear then. But then will be then, just like now is now. And it's all really at the center of a time loop, which itself is just a bowl containing more time loops.
Time loops.
They're made of people.
10
made
minutes from now, you'll understand.
10 minutes from ago, it will have made sense.
Time loops.
Time loops.
10 minutes from now, you'll understand.
Hey Jimmy, are we broadcasting anything? Can they see us?
He's in 10 minutes of the past.
That's 10 minutes ago. They'll get to this moment in 10 minutes and say, yes, we can see you.
I'm going to perform on a staggering act of faith that all of that is going to work out. We're going to go ahead and I think move into our next game. I think that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and play this game. We call this game Director. And for this, I'm gonna be the director of a scene that has these. Hey, they're there! Yay! Cool. All right. This is just playing with my brain in so many ways. We're going to play a game called Director. What's going to happen is these four people are going to be in a scene. I'm going to interrupt them rudely at some point and tell them that it's all wrong and it needs to be done in a slightly different way. Based on the genre suggestions and location suggestions that you gave me earlier on, we're going to sort of modify the scene as we go. We're going to see several versions of it as though I, interrupting director, am just meddling with the work. So this is a scene taking place. Ooh, we got so many good locations. I'm thinking this needs to be in a cave. This is a scene taking place in a cave. All right, so I'm going to drop out, and when I drop out, let's go ahead and start that scene. Oh, actually, I'm the director, so I can call action, right? All right, so here we go. Scene's in a cave. Let's see what happens. Action.
Hey, did you guys bring the glow sticks? It's pretty dark in here.
All I brought were these sticks for making s'mores.
Oh. Well, Jean, do you have the glow sticks?
I have something arguably better. It's a fart button, and when it farts, it glows.
Oh, Jean, you and your fart button.
So now every time we want to look at something, we'll be able to see.
Well,
for like 1 second, and then, but.
Jean, it's better than nothing, okay? Hey, Susan, did you maybe by chance bring any other source of light than a fart button?
You know, the only thing I managed to get hold of was a stick of dynamite, but I feel like that might compromise their safety even more than just darkness.
No, you know what? I actually think that's a pretty good idea. Now, does anyone have a lighter to light the dynamite?
Oh, absolutely. Just hold it up here.
Bob, you're a G- I'm so glad we brought you along, Bob.
Shh.
Oh, wow, it's so big in here. I can see the whole thing.
Cut. That was beautiful. That's beautiful. Hey, snuff that. Just snuff, please. Just thank you. Phew. So I just really had to call cut right then for reasons I'm not going to explain. But props is going to see to getting you some better equipment because we're going for horror here, folks. I mean, serious, existential, American Gothic, messing with your head, twisting the world inside out so you can't reckon with what's terrifying and what's not. Horror happening here in this cave. While I love that burst of effulgence at the end, you positively glowed, so let's see the light at the end of the tunnel. Somehow at the end of the scene, you're going to see something so hopeful and beautiful that it changes the dynamic of everything. But let's get the horror first before we can get to that moment of effulgence at the end. All right, places, and action.
Did anyone bring glow sticks? It's really dark in here.
All I brought are these bundles of knives.
Oh.
My flashlight, it flickers and it only turns on for a couple of seconds, but I feel like every time I turn it on, I see something move.
Oh gosh.
And fart.
Susan, do you have anything that could help?
I have this really spooky stick of dynamite that when it's lit, the bad guys will find us.
Jim, I don't think now is the right time to be sharpening your bundle of knives. We're trying to make sure that we are alone in this cave because I feel like we are not.
Jim.
I do have a lighter.
Oh, perfect. Well, Jim, why don't you light the stick of dynamite and then we can have light and also throw it at anything that comes near us. Oh my god, please! Ah!
Cut. We obviously all of that'll be added in post. That was well, actually, it won't because we're changing direction. But it was great. What you were doing was just terrific. I loved it. I loved it. But I also hated it. So what we really need to do here is we absolutely need to bring out the fact that this is this is really a romance with a murder mystery subplot. Okay. So we do have a murder mystery going on, but it's really about, I mean, you had it there when you were lighting the stick there, and the whole thing of the knifey glow sticks thing, that was really good. It's popping with chemistry. Very, let's just draw out all of that wonderful, latent, romantic energy, while also recognizing there is this obligatory murder mystery going on. Action.
Guys, it's really dark in here. Does anyone have any light?
But it's so dark. You know what that means?
Oh, Jean, you're always so funny.
It's makeout ambiance.
Jean.
I have this flashlight.
No, keep that shit off.
Share it.
Oh.
You know what makes things even brighter?
Sorry, Susan, what were you saying?
Sorry. You know what makes a date even brighter? Dynamite.
I have a light.
You light up my world.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
This person?
Cut. That was just great. Although really pushing it into porn, but it was really good. That was the romance there was just so lovely, just great. I liked it. It was cable ready. I think that was terrific. But as it happens, we finally have the funding to be able to turn out the French avant-garde cinema project I've always wanted to do. The thing is, I really like it when there's some random music just sort of incorporated in the action. French avant-garde cinema with a little bit of musical, all in this cave. I don't want to explain anymore because that would just ruin the whole thing. So without any further explanation, action.
I have no glow sticks, only cigarettes.
Anybody else? We can use the light from your cigarettes.
Brilliant. Oh, and Jimmy has brought his violin for some ambiance.
I blow smoke to create love.
L'amour.
Would seeing this cave be any better than not seeing it?
I do not want to see the things in the cave. I would rather they just kill me dead. I do not want to suffer before I die.
Well,
I just want to smoke.
Let us smoke and die. Let us smoke and die.
And die.
Let us smoke and die.
Let us smoke. This cave represents my inner soul. And filled with smoke and people I hate. I hate you all.
We are all metaphors for your loss.
This dynamite represents my hate for all of you.
And
then I shall surely go.
Yes, Suzanne, blow us all up.
Fuck you, I will die.
Your soul is not worth saving.
None of our souls are worth saving.
Boom.
Cut. Wrap. That's I feel really depressed now, but it was beautiful. It was totally, I mean, that's exactly what we're going to have them lying in the aisles. It's great. That's that's director, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we play that game. Takes us to some very interesting places. But I like where we go. I think what I'd like to do is move on to an experiment that we'd like to try called three-player Foursquare. Three-player Foursquare. And if we have some time, we'll squeeze in some 60, 30, 10, 1. So yeah, Bird, yes, that's terrific. I'm going to drop out here in a moment. And what's going to happen is, what is our rotation again?
Abby, Cal, Shannon.
Abby, Cal, Shannon, right? Abby, Cal, Shannon, right. So what's going to happen is, we're going to have a scene between Abby and Cal. Shannon will edit that scene. And then that'll be a scene between Cal and Shannon. And then Abby will edit that scene. It'll be a scene between Abby and Shannon, and so on. They'll all be playing the same characters. We'll learn more about what their relationships are and what the nature of the story is as the scene proceeds. We need to remember that the action is going to escalate and get more exciting as we move on. We'll go through this rotation several times until the story reaches its climax. Your suggestion to start with, ooh, yeah, it's hard to resist. The suggestion that you have to start with is, I'm going to put this in closed captions, plumbing explosion. Plumbing explosion. And let's see it.
Margaret, why is our house half flooded, Margaret?
Well, Jim, you see, I may have accidentally put a bunch of baking soda and vinegar down the sink drain in an attempt to make a really cool volcano, and it kind of exploded like half of the pipes. But hey, we have a swimming pool now.
We don't have anything but a swimming pool, Margaret.
Well,
I didn't even know our doors could hold this much water in.
Well, yeah, Jim, of course they did. We invested in the steel doors in case someone were to one day accidentally make a swimming pool inside the house.
You've been planning this since we moved in together, haven't you?
Oh, Jim, what? That is preposterous. How could you even suggest that?
So, Jim, you've been having some marriage troubles with Margaret, and you opted not to go to couples therapy and instead come in by yourself.
I think we have to work up to couples therapy, Dr. Juniper.
So, she turned your house into a pool. How does that make you feel?
It's not the pool. It's not the pool that bothers me. I'll be honest. I did swimming in high school. I was actually pretty good at it. It's not terribly bad. I don't mind being wrinkly. It's the fact, I think she was planning to turn our house into a pool the whole time. And I would have been fine with it, but she didn't tell me. She didn't talk to me. She didn't communicate at all with me.
You know, communication issues are what ended my first relationship. I think you need to set clear boundaries with her, which may be difficult now that your house is, surrounded in water. But I think clear boundaries are the key in your relationship.
So what you're saying is we need more steel doors.
Listen, Dr. Juniper, now I know Jim came in and saw you earlier this week, and he talked about, because he talked to me, we are married, he talked to me about how you said we needed clearer boundaries, and he thought that I had been planning this all along, and he's right, I have been planning this all along, but what he doesn't know, and what I trust that you won't tell him because of HIPAA or patient-doctor confidentiality or whatever it is that happens in therapy, you can't tell him that turning the house into a swimming pool was only stage one of the plan, okay? I thought that it would be really cool to turn our whole house into a swimming pool. I knew he'd be cool with it, but I couldn't say anything because it's gonna turn into something bigger. First, we turn the house into the swimming pool, right? And then I rent a bunch of really big, really cold fans, and I'm gonna direct them at the house so that it freezes everything. Now, not only does that preserve all of our belongings in the ice, it also makes us a giant house skating rink.
Margaret, you know that I do have an obligation to report possible health hazards to my patients.
Dr. Dr. Juniper, there is nothing unhealthy about an ice rink. It's just good, clean fun. Look, I've already bought the skates for both of us.
Margaret, what I'm going to recommend in your case is the importance of listening to other people, and maybe your relationship won't be frozen over, as it were.
Telling me that I shouldn't have invested in the Zamboni.
You know, it's gotten quite deep at this point, Margaret.
Yeah, Jim. Look, it's starting to get a little out of hand. Do you think maybe you could help me turn off some of the faucets?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Margaret, something's been bothering me. I'm sorry. I got so lost in thought I forgot to keep swimming.
It's okay. We're wearing life jackets now. I purchased those for us too, so we're floating on the surface.
You always think ahead. I think I've realized what the problem in our relationship is.
What is it, Jim?
Dr. Juniper.
You're right. She's the one that's stamping down all of my dreams of surprises for you and fun and exciting things to bring spice to our relationship. Yes. I can't tell you the next step in my plan because that would ruin it, but it's exciting, Jim.
She's always giving us these toxic suggestions like listen to each other
and
express your feelings.
Ugh, I know. You know what? You're right. I think Dr. Juniper is the problem.
We may have to break up with them.
You know, maybe. Here's a thought. This can be step 1.5 in between 1 and 2. I can't tell you what step 2 is yet. But we invite Dr. Juniper over for dinner. Little does she know, our house is now 3/4 flooded. She'll think it's half flooded. And she'll open the front door, which we'll leave unlocked, I guess, and she'll just invite herself in, and then all of a sudden she'll be hit with a wave of water. And then, not only does that get rid of her.
Hi, I brought a casserole because you were so kind to invite me into your house.
Yeah, it's open. You can come.
Okay.
Oh, is the casserole water? Okay, never mind.
The casserole is part water and part meat, as many casseroles are. It appears that your entryway is flooded with water.
Dr. Juniper, you knew this day was coming.
Dr. Juniper, I'm glad you have joined me in the parlor, where there is only about a foot of space between the water and the ceiling. Look, it's right here. Just enough room for our heads.
Margaret, I'm beginning to think that I have been set up.
Dr. Juniper, don't you know, that was always step 3 in our plan. Me and Jim together. Step 2 was just a joke to get you off the path. We're not freezing this. We're keeping it as a pool forever. And just so you know, you're going to stay here forever too.
Can I have the Zamboni at least?
The Zamboni was a lie. I never even bought one. Instead, I invested in life jackets, a far more practical purchase for a flooded house. And you're not going to get one because I only bought 2. Ha ha ha.
I knew I charged you too much for therapy.
Now that our house is completely flooded and we're underwater and Dr. Juniper is slowly drowning, I think there's only one thing left to do. Pearl ring.
A ring that is not pearl for you.
Oh, I just thought we were going with a nautical theme. That's fine, though.
Oh, well, this one's actually made out of coral, so here you go.
Oh, we think so much alike.
Yes, I know.
Have you put any thought to freezing the water?
You know, as a matter of fact, I had. Did you know that...
Haha, I escaped and purchased my own Zamboni.
Dr. Juniper? I can hardly recognize you one atop a I don't know.
purchased a Zamboni as well, Dr. Juniper. I guess it's time for Zamboni fights!
Margaret, this may be a bad time to mention it, but you still haven't paid me for your last session. And as you have locked me in your house, I am going to charge you extra.
Haha, joke's on you, Dr. Juniper. You'll never see that money because I spent it all on this Zamboni.
And I'll just have to destroy it in revenge.
I bought the superior model, and it has one of those ice shoveler points on the front so that the snow goes to the sides, and it's drilling holes in yours.
Well, I have attached ice skates all to the outside of mine, so yours looks less shiny when I hit against it.
Oh no, I'm so worried about the paint. Sorry, Jim.
No, it's fine.
Money out back.
I know. I do think we do need to repaint the Zamboni now. Yeah.
But, you know, what are we going to do about Dr. Juniper? We've tried everything. We've tried drowning her. We've tried running her over with a Zamboni.
I think there's something we haven't tried. Maybe we should go to couples therapy with Dr. Juniper.
That's a 3-player Foursquare. I could watch the Zamboni duel forever. The Zamboni duel was gripping. It's always fun when you crack out the dueling Zambonis. And there's a theme for that too, isn't there? There's like a musical theme. But you play it on like a Coliseum organ. Yeah. Or dueling carillons, I suppose. Our next game is a game called 60-30-10-1. 60-30-10-1. For this, let's go with, let's have Bird and Abby. You'll be in this scene. I will be dropping out of it after I explain what's going on. What's going to happen is I'm going to bring up a little timer here. And we are going to see a scene that lasts exactly 60 seconds. Then we'll see the very same scene in 30 seconds. We'll see the very same scene in 10 seconds, and then the very same scene in 1 second. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a suggestion of location that we got earlier. Oh, yes, this is a scene taking place on a sinking ship. Oh, man, we're totally nautical tonight. I don't know how that happened. But yes, here we are. The scene taking place on a sinking ship. You have 60 seconds from when I disappear. Go.
Jennifer, there's something that I have to tell you before we fall off of this sinking ship.
What is it, Jim?
Jennifer, I never loved you.
Oh. No, that's that. I don't have a rebuttal. That just really hurt. But you know what's going to hurt more? You drowning. Because I have gills.
Well, Jennifer, why did you never tell me that you have gills?
Because this was actually a plot to kill you. I told the other mermaids to put the iceberg there. I'm killing you. I'm taking everybody else down with me, and I'm gonna go live in the ocean.
Wait. So you're telling me that you knew the whole time that I didn't love you?
Yeah, but you never knew I was a mermaid. So you know who's the real winner.
You know, that's true. We did never go swimming together. Makes a lot of sense now in hindsight.
Yeah.
Explains why our 2-year-old is such a good swimmer.
Yeah.
That's 60 seconds. Let's see that very same scene in 30 seconds. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Jennifer, there's something that I have to tell you before this ship sinks.
What is it?
Never loved you.
I have gills.
What?
This was a ploy to kill you.
So you're telling me that all along you knew that I never loved you?
Yes, and you never knew I was a mermaid.
You're right, we never went swimming together. Is this why our 2-year-old is such a good swimmer?
Yes, he's gonna live this sinking ship.
We brought him.
That's 30 seconds. You definitely brought him. Absolutely. Let's see that very same scene in 10 seconds. On your mark. Get set. Go.
I never loved you.
I can breathe underwater. This is a ploy to kill you.
You knew I never loved you?
Yes! And I brought our kid!
We never went swimming. That's why he's the good swimmer.
1 second version on your mark. Get set. Go.
I'm killing you!
That's 60, 30, 10, 1. Let's bring up our other two players and do another one of those. Let's do another one of those. I'm liking 60, 30, 10, 1. Let's see a 60-second scene, that takes place in the void of space. This is a scene taking
We've
place.
done this one today, but you know.
Well, if you'd like a different suggestion, I give you.
No, I'm down with it.
All right, let's see a scene that starts from that suggestion. 60 seconds. Let me just hang on a second here. Let me bring it all up. All right, resetting the timer and go.
Look at all that nothing, Billy.
You know, Jeremy, I sometimes wonder, for all that nothing, we really should be paid more something.
Could you say that again, please?
For spending all this time out here, we should really get paid more.
I think we should. Could we unionize?
Yes, unionize astronauts. If we just refuse to come down, they'll have no choice but to pay us more.
So I see one potential flaw in this situation. They did only send us up with so much oxygen?
That is a good point, Jeremy. They also sent us up with very expensive equipment, though, that they can't afford to lose.
So what we're saying is...
Revolution!
Revolution! It's time that the astronauts lived free.
That's 60 seconds. Let's see that very same scene in 30 seconds. Resetting the clock. Go!
Look at all that nothing, Billy.
For all that nothing, we should get paid a lot more.
Do you think we could unionize?
Yeah, if we don't come down, then they'll have no choice but to pay us more.
One potential issue I see in this great plot of ours is that we only have so much oxygen in the spaceship?
But there's also a lot of expensive equipment in the spaceship, Jeremy. We can revolutionize.
Revolution! It's time for the astronauts to be free.
Free the astronauts!
That's 30 seconds. Let's see that very same scene in 10 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Look at all that nothing.
We should get paid more.
We should unionize.
Yeah, let's
We have to destroy things.
destroy things. Revolution!
Free the astronauts!
Let's see the 1 second version of that scene, please. Go.
Revolution!
That's an excellent place to end. All right. Yeah. So an astronaut revolution taking place in the void of space. And who said that you can't get complex socioeconomical discussions into a science fiction narrative? It's totally possible. I think what I'd like to do is move into our final game for the evening. Before we this is how we're going to say goodbye to you for tonight, folks. Is we're going to play a game called Zulu. So let's get all our players back on stage on our virtual space here. Yeah, fabulous. And with Zulu, what we're going to do is we're just going to start. We know what rotation we're working in. They're just going to come up with some responses to suggestions that I give them based on the suggestions that you gave me at the top of the show. And let's see. First, let's go ahead. Let's come up with give me names of actually give me names of Greek gods from Greek mythology that don't in fact exist. Totally fabricated, totally fictional gods from Greek mythology that don't exist. Go.
Hieronymus the Effulgent.
Rhinoceros the Angry.
The pee-pee poo-poo man.
Amphomorph, god of monkeys.
Jeffarius.
Ruff, the god of dogs.
Repylomancelia, the goddess of the dictionary.
Jeff, the god of normal people.
Industritus, the god of long words.
This is good. This is good. Let's continue with. We have Stonehenge, of course, is a famous sacred site involving standing stones somewhere on the fields of heavens in southwestern England.
Canterbury?
It's not near Canterbury. It's slipping my mind at the moment. Not that far from Glastonbury, but Glastonbury is what you were thinking, Cal. It's very near to Glastonbury. But Stonehenge, of course, is a site of an ancient sacred site. Let's have names of other ancient sacred sites that don't in fact exist. Names of ancient sacred sites like Stonehenge that don't in fact exist. Go.
The Large.
The Hedge.
The Big Rock.
Isle of Dreams.
Scotus's Garden.
The Underwater Mansions.
The Underwater Middle Income House.
Town.
The Living Trench.
The Dead House in the Sky.
The Winding Path.
The tree in the center of the forest.
The Longest Curtain.
The Winding Road.
The Saddest Beach.
The least sandy desert.
The Zoom room no one's been to yet.
This is just lovely. Let's come up with some titles for Disney animated features that have not yet been made. Titles for Disney animated features that have not yet been made. That can include Pixar within its purview. But let's come up with some titles for Disney movies that haven't yet been made.
Right Side In.
Upside Down.
Across the Rainbow.
Grumpus and the Fudge.
The Prince and His Horse.
The Princess and Her Feelings.
Dancing Shoes.
Notes and Boats.
A Dream of Stars.
Sheepfield.
Hey, you know what? Let's hear the titles of hit songs from those Disney films. Let's the titles of hit songs from these Disney films that have not yet been made.
One Night in Summer.
Singing to the Sky.
Empowering Ballad 1.
Sheep Sounds MP4.
The sun always rises.
Stereotypes no more.
I Will Stand on This Rock.
I have depression.
The Inevitable Ball.
The Hill I'll Never Leave.
Falling and Flying and Falling Again.
How come no one loves me?
These are just lovely. What I want now are those comic taglines that we associate with particular iconic characters from Disney films. Coming up again with ones that have yet to be created, and then we can, of course, because of time loops, sue them retroactively. So let's go ahead and generate some. Let's eliminate the possible field and narrow it down a little bit with some taglines of characters that you would find, the sound bitiest of the sound bites. Let's hear them.
You know what? It's just me.
Ah, Bumpus.
You silly donkey. Tricks are for kids.
Bah.
It's the sun.
You know what? You know what?
I know better than you.
I am leaving the tower.
Away you go, Bartabas.
One grave is just too many.
I will hang on to this cliff forever.
I will die on this hill.
You can't love me forever.
Hey, let's since we got this tagline thing going on, let's go with of course, one of my favorites is I would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for those darn kids. Those confessional lines that happen in the big reveals at the end of Murder Mysteries. Can we have some of those confessional lines that happen at the end of Murder Mysteries?
'Twas I that sanded the pier.
Yes, that's right. That was my banana peel under his shoe.
Yes, that's right. I killed those kids.
Egad, I knew you were the murderer all along.
That's right. It was I who murdered the murderers.
That's right, it is I who murdered the detectives.
Tally ho! I commit tax fraud.
Another suggestion for you. Let's just a couple more of these. Let's have names of dogs that haven't really been thought of yet. Things that dogs could be named that are dog-like names, but aren't necessarily ones that are the first ones that come to mind.
Smarmy.
Marple May.
Barty Moose.
Gloves.
Mr. Binkleton.
Scorp.
Martle.
Ronald the dog.
Snooter.
Muddle's brother, Puddle.
Fluffle Fluffington.
Sir Doggo.
Sir Doggo.
Jackie.
Baron Fluffhouse.
Earl Grey Esquire.
God.
Yeah, and see, we've got dogs and gods going on here, which I'm really enjoying. But one additional feature, I'd like now to see those moments when the people who own those dogs deal with those dogs trying to get onto Zoom with them. So I want you to imagine that you've got exactly one of those dogs, and you can change the dog, of course, but let's see some moments of people trying to deal with their dog, trying to become a part of the Zoom meeting. Let's see it.
Fluffy, no, stop humping my legs. Stop.
As you can see on my nope, that's Puddle. Nope, Puddle. No.
So let me just share my screen here, and Snoofles, don't. The keyboard is very expensive, Snoofles. I will give you a treat later.
All right, guys, welcome back to my class. Oh, God is shitting on the floor.
No, Jeff, I told you to stop drinking my tea while I'm in the bathroom. Get away.
Baron barks every 15 seconds. We're just gonna have to deal with that.
So I tried feeding him peanut butter to keep his jaws closed, and it just isn't working out. Can I give my presentation next class?
Sir Doggo is just neutered. See?
Okay, one last beat. One last beat. Just the thing that those very people are trying to say before the dog is basically cutting off the line. So just that one last thing they're trying to squeeze in before they get cut off. Let's get people's sign-offs trying to deal with the dog right before their Zoom gives out. Let's see that.
No, beef jerky, stop stepping on the keyboard.
Just remember, if you do the reading, you should.
In conclusion, I think that your argument is invalid because Mr. Snoofles, get off my leg.
All right, so for my next slideshow presentation, I'm going to be talking about religion through the past 20... Gloves!
And now that we've finished the lesson, does anyone want to see my puppy?
Let's have everybody back on for one last moment. We are the Austin College Improv Troupe. We've loved in performing for you this evening. We've had a great time. We hope you've had a great time too. I just do want to bring in this suggestion from our audience in the Pouch Club of Bark Twain, which I think is one of the best dog names I've ever heard. I kind of want to see the novel Bark Twain. Just the layers of irony there are just great. Thank you so much for having us. We hope that you've enjoyed your time with us this evening. We are going to be doing some more performances and streaming some more stuff and putting some more stuff up on YouTube over the next few weeks. So watch this space in YouTube. You can also find us by searching for TACIT, TACIT, and you can find our videos, including all of last year's Epic, is still up there on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us by means of the AC app, and find out when our shows are. A reminder, we've got workshops coming up next Sunday, the Sunday after that, and then the Sunday right before Election Day. So the next 3 Sundays, starting a week from Sunday, a week from tomorrow, starting a week from tomorrow. On the 18th, we'll have workshops at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday afternoon. Please, if you're interested, check us out and join us for those. Watch this space for other material. Continue to stay safe. Keep your social distancing. Wear your masks when you need to. And keep in touch. It's been a pleasure. We hope you have a great night. We are the Austin College Improv Troupe. I'm Kirk, and they are...
Callier.
Shannon.
Barrett,
Abby!
thank you so much. It's been a blast performing for you. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again soon. So long.